So what we have here are two different cedar options, two different common cuts. This first one here is a Perfection shingle, and this one here is a Tapersawn shake. The main difference of the two is the thickness of the actual shingle. So a Perfection is going to be a 3/8 thickness, and the Tapersawn is going to be a 5/8 thickness. Here at Roofing Solutions of Connecticut, our standard of cedar installation is that we only use Canadian mills. And the reason why is that a Canadian mill tends to come from old growth trees. And if you come a little bit closer, you'll see that you have these vertical grains. The tighter these vertical grains are, the older the tree was, which also means that the more stable the shingle is. What tends to happen when other contractors come out is that they will use domestic wood. What that really means is that that's new growth. These vertical grains will be a lot wider. When you have wider vertical grains, you are more prone to something called cellular collapse. And this is where UV rays will actually break down the grain of the cedar and will give you something very comparable to Swiss cheese on your roof, where you'll have burnt holes going through the shingles, more cracked shingles and more lifted shingles. These are most commonly requested types of cedar options. You're gonna have 18 inches in length, random widths, and what you tend to see in this area in particular is a 5.5 inch exposure, which gives you a better lapping of almost 3 ply. You can stretch some of these shingles a little bit further out with exposures. For example, with a Tapersawn, you could stretch this exposure to 7 inches to help reduce costs, but you're not going to get the overlapping of these shingles, which is going to help with curling, checking, and keeping your house watertight. We always tend to recommend pressure treated options because some parts of your home may not get all the sunlight. So any of those shaded areas tend to see some growth. In this area, we have a lot of lichen and algae in the air naturally. But when a section of your roof is constantly shaded and damp, you're more prone to getting growth on your roof. If you allow moss or algae to stay on the roof, that hard growth, it could eventually damage your shingles or potentially lift up your shingles. So with a pressure treated option, this is going to help prevent some of that additional growth. The key component for all cedar is being able to allow these shingles to breathe. Breathability is key. When originally putting cedar roofs on, most houses were built with skip sheathing, which will give you maximum airflow. Modern builds today don't use skip sheathing commonly and will go with plywood. So again, we have a cedar breather, which will give you some airspace when installing your cedar roof. There are other alternatives to get you even more of your breathability. They also make a product called Vent Grid, which is a hard polymer sheet 4x8 that you can install that will have less compression versus cedar breathing. Obviously it's an upgrade, but also something that we can do. You could also do a cold system where you have 2x and 1x framing to give you that additional airspace underneath your shingles. In regards to maintaining a cedar roof and getting the most life out of your cedar roof, every 3 to 5 years, rule of thumb is you'd want to contact us to have us come out and inspect your roof to see how things are going. In that 3 to 5 year mark, we will then suggest whether you need to do a soft wash and a potential sealing. So there's definitely ways to hold on to that new cedar look. You would do that with a sealing treatment, whether it be you want to make it a little bit more red, make it a little bit more gray, or you may love the natural look and you just want to have a clear sealing treatment on it. So in regards to pricing, the Tapersawn would be more of an upgrade, going from a 3/8 to a 5/8, and the Tapersawn shingle roughly is going to vary between 10 to 15% more than a Perfection. Now, with that additional cost, you also will get probably another 5 to 10 years of roof life. And the lifespan usually for a Perfection roof would vary between 20 to 25 years, obviously depending on the roof and the pitch of your home, whereas a Tapersawn, you'll most likely get between 25 to 30 years. So if you're interested in getting a cedar roof or want to know the current condition of your cedar roof, please give us a call.